if you shoot that corner three against me, one of us is going to have to go buy lunch today. Again, now will you take that corner three against
Oh
me?
yeah, 100%. Because I'm gonna have to get a free lunch.
Hey, hold on, coach. Hold on, coach. I just said I'm on a team, man. I'm D1. I'm
Hey,
D1. I'm in the prime of my life, coach.
you gotta have the confidence, man. You
Oh.
can't let these guys. You can't let these guys get any inch on you, man.
What, coach? Coach, you didn't blink. You didn't blink at all. And as you saw, it kind of got my ego. I was like, man, I'm getting these shots up. Coach ain't coming out here.
Right.
How about this though, coach? Do they ever come at you like you wash, or in a joking manner, be like, man, coach, we ain't doing it like that no more? Do you get that? Because you're still an authority figure.
Yeah, all the time, man. Obviously you don't have these guys are really good at basketball. Like, we got some really good players. So, when you watch them in practice, then, you try to go play them one-on-one, or, even though you mess around, it's like, dang, like basketball's a lot different, 7-foot guards, and it's crazy, man.
Is there anything better than a trip getting ready?
Nope.
For a long journey where our podcast released a new app, and searching for a fade fiend, new fixation. Giving this a subscribe is the same sensation. Started with the day ones, they gave us fuel to support the season. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here for a reason. Notification bells, tag some friends, all to let you know. Check your Bluetooth, connect, talk your wisdom out of.
Welcome in, everyone. Season 2, episode 68. Stamp off on it with Coach Stamps. Coach, if you haven't noticed, I got the coach voice right now. Had a thrilling 7 and under game yesterday. My daughter got her first double, 12 points, 13 rebounds, 6 steals, and I'm a little excited. Then I took them to a G League game last night, so I ain't got no voice because we are in the Spurs organization. So that go Spurs go, you got to do what the crowd is doing, coach.
Right.
And as you know, as a coach, I'm a mentor to these young bucks. So I want them to know, if you're going to go to a game, your parents going to spend that money, give them that energy.
Right.
But I think you could work with me, coach. Coach, how you doing? We early on a weekend morning. I know I asked you off air, but let me just check something for a second. You are awake this early in the morning out there on the West Coast because you're about to go do some gardening. Is that why you up? Because I don't understand why you up so early, coach.
Nah, man, we back at it. We got a game Tuesday. We got to prep for Wyoming. We got to go over some stuff as coaches, here in a little bit about last night's game at Colorado State. Heartbreaker. We had it, and we just unfortunate events happen, and we got to take this one on the chin. But our guys work so hard, so they deserve a win. It's been a little tough season, but they deserve a win.
So, coach, I hope all of those that are watching are as familiar as they should be, but that's a bulldog on your chest. Where you at, coach? Because last time we talked, you didn't have that bulldog on your chest.
Yep. So last time we talked, I was at Florida Coastal as the national high school coach, and now I'm at Fresno State University, Division I, Mountain West.
Yep.
So I've been here since April, and it's been fun, man. Division I basketball is awesome, and I get to learn from 2 guys who've been in the game a long time. Vance Wahlberg, the innovator of dribble drive, and John Welch, who coached in the NBA 18 years. So, wealth of experience, and I'm blessed to be in this position and learn from these guys, and I get to work Division I as a 30-year-old assistant, and not a lot of people my age get this opportunity. So
see, coach, that's why you and I vibe. You just threw that alley-oop. I was about to shoot the 3 from deep at the logo, but you made me hesitate. I came in a little bit more, and I'm glad because now I got a full head of steam, and I see there's a lob opportunity for me. Coach, I'm gonna throw that lob to you while I'm cutting to the basket. Coach, I was about to go there on the age. Coach, you don't look old enough. Man, you ain't old. First of all, you're supposed to be doing a comb over. You're supposed to be losing your hair.
Right.
And then second of all, man, you don't know nothing about how the game used to be. Cause like, do you see that as something that inside you work against, or do you lean into your age and use that as a positive?
I lean into my age. Like I can relate with these guys. I can, all these guys will talk to me. I can relate to them. We can talk about everything. I know what they're going through, the current state of basketball. I've coached so many high-level guys, being at Sunrise Christian, and Florida Coastal has some guys, and now being here, I can relate with these guys, and I have great relationships with all of them. From our top player to our 15th man. So I think my age is a great piece, and I think a lot of staffs should have younger guys who can relate with the players.
Yeah. Coach, I thought I've heard this once, that it's a pejorative when someone says you're a player coach. And I'm not saying you said that, but I'm very curious as to what you would say if someone was to say that Coach Stamps is a player coach. I'm not saying you saying that, but if someone said that, how would you take that?
I would agree. I'm a player's coach. I think in today's basketball, you have to be. I think the old ways of coaching those guys of, straight, military, type style of demanding stuff and, doing things is, you got to throw it out the window. So I think I'm a player's coach. You got to be able to relate to them. You got to have relationships. They got to be able to trust you. And the fact that you play, also helps too. So you can tell them some nuances that you see on the court, or, things that, they should be doing that you see, because you've been in their shoes as a player. So I think you have to be a player's coach in today's basketball.
Coach, so if you're a cool ass coach, right? I'm your player. And man, you've been getting me, and I get it. Like, I'll give you no attitude, but I'm gonna say this to you in practice. I got it, coach. All right, how about this? We're gonna shoot this corner three. First person that makes it gets it. But if I make it before you, coach, cut about 20 minutes off practice. I know you said there's two other people on the coaching staff, but so I know it ain't always just gonna be your way, coach. But tell me something, coach, because you're in it, you're close to that age, yep. And we dig you, coach. You gonna take them up on that?
Nah, you can't, man. They gotta work hard. Maybe it'll be different incentives, food or something, but practice, man. That's your time. You got to get it in.
Oh, you know what? I like that, coach. I like that. I always say this to my kids. It ain't about just practice. It's about perfect practice, because you could just be out there wasting a whole lot of time. But if you out there actually putting in that work to get better, practicing perfectly to fix things, it's to your benefit. And I feel like that's where you're going, is you don't want to sacrifice that. So then how about this, coach? If you shoot that corner three against me, one of us is going to have to go buy lunch today. Again, now will you take that corner three against me?
Oh, yeah, 100%, because I'm going to have to get a free lunch.
Hey, hold on, coach. Hold on, coach. I just said I'm on a team, man. I'm D1. I'm D1. I'm in the prime of my life, coach.
You got to have the confidence, man. You can't let these guys get any inch on you, man.
What, coach, you didn't blink. You didn't blink at all. And as you saw, it kind of got my ego. I was like, man, I'm getting these shots up. Coach ain't coming out here.
Right.
How about this though, coach? Do they ever come at you like you wash, or in a joking manner, be like, man, coach, we ain't doing it like that no more? Do you get that? Because you're still an authority figure.
Yeah, all the time, man. Obviously you don't have these guys are really good at basketball. Like, we got some really good players. So, when you watch them in practice, then, you try to go play them one-on-one, or, even though you mess around, it's like, dang, like basketball's a lot different, 7-foot guards, and it's crazy, man.
Coach, at that level, there's going to come a point where someone's going to come to you and say, coach, I want to go to the next level. I flip a coin. Let's just say they're a junior. I'm just throwing that out there. They could have been anything, but I'm gonna say they're a junior. What's the first thing you are gonna say, Coach? And let me give you a little bit more to make this easier on you. I think it'll make it easier. I'm averaging 13 points. I'm probably getting 25 minutes, and I've been a 3-year starter. And I got good habits, and y'all are pretty happy with me. What would you say to me, Coach?
I think the 2 or 3 biggest things that I've been hearing, around the NBA is, obviously, what are you shooting? Percentage of everything, so analytically driven. What are you shooting from 3? What's your percentage around the rim? Then are you able to get to the free throw line? Then also, man, unfortunately, size has played a big part in guys going there. So if you're bigger, obviously your opportunity of going is a lot better. I think those 2 things. I think analytically, your statistical stats, and obviously size as well too, are I think the 2 biggest things that I've been hearing, since I've been here.
Yeah, I've had that conversation a couple times in the last 2 days. There's a young man I'm looking at a school. He's a freshman and he's really doing his thing. And so people that know me, that's the first thing they're asking. And now he's a freshman, Coach.
Yep.
I'm always hesitant to answer that. This is what I tell them. I said, let me see how the conference tournament goes.
Yep.
And if they get to March Madness, let me see how that person performs there. Because technically on this team, they're like the number 2. There's like a sophomore. I think they really want to run everything through. So Coach, I'm a little curious when it comes to that. Do you think nowadays there's too much of a rush to get to the next level? Because this dude a freshman. And that's everybody's asking me that. I'm not his agent, but everyone is asking me that. So I'm curious on your thoughts. If a super freshman comes in, what should they be thinking about?
I think obviously that's a big problem in basketball, and a lot of NBA guys have voiced that. A lot of these young guys are coming out, and they get stuck in the G League on Exhibit 10s or 2-way contracts because they're not all the way developed. So depending on who you are, obviously it's tough for freshmen right now in college basketball because everybody's older, 5th, 6th year, 7th year seniors. What I would tell guys, man, just develop, for 2 years, 3 years, and go. Everything is getting so much older. And why be in a rush? In today's college basketball, you can make so much money. You're a freshman, you may end up going 2nd G League. You're gonna earn a lot more money in college basketball right now, the way the current state is, than going to the G League or being undrafted. So depending on how that personal route looks, if they're highly talented, if they're already on draft boards. Typically, when a lot of freshmen come into college, they're already on a bunch of draft boards. So if you aren't on a lot of people's radars, the likelihood of you getting drafted, unless you're just a standout, 6'5", 6'6", you're averaging 13, 14, 4 or 5 assists a game, 4 or 5 rebounds. It's just tough right now. And there was a stat going around, I think a few months ago, about how there's so many young guys, freshmen who've been declaring for the draft every year, and they're not even in the NBA. So I think it's a good thing. I think the NBA does need to get a little older. Guys need to be more skilled and a little more developed. So I think it's a plus for both. But what I would tell a kid right now, man, if you can stay in college and make $500,000 to $600,000 instead of going to the G League, making $100,000, if that, why not stay in college, develop, work on your degree, and get this money while you can.
Okay. Now, Coach, when I made that hypothetical about myself being your player, 13 points, first of all, Coach, you should have said to me, nah, I know you, Donato. You probably about a 17, 18 guy. But no, Coach, you left me at 13. You left me at 13. You think that's the highest I got, Coach. So you hurt my feelings there. But no, Coach, when I said that, because I could have said anything else,
Right.
but I said junior. And one of the things I thought maybe you would have jumped on it is, what do you think about me? I've been in the league for 3 years. Sorry, I've been in college for 3 years. Do you think some NBA execs hold that against people sometimes? Like, why didn't you come out first or second year?
I think it's the same thing. It's going to be analytically driven, being your size. You know, if you're a 6-foot guard who's been there 3 years, I think it's going to be tough for you to get drafted. But if you're a 6'6", you know, and you're averaging those numbers and you play guard, I think your outlook will be a lot different and your chances will be a lot higher.
Yeah. Okay. I understand that. Coach, we had a bunch of stuff that's happened already. I want to talk to you about a wide variety of things. You said we could do all things sports. I know I went basketball heavy there, but I got to switch to NFL just for a quick second. You see what I'm rocking, Coach. I know I told you I won't make you do the pop quiz, but I'm from Virginia. You know about that DMV, but you know this is and my last name. My last name is Washington. So why wouldn't I? If there was this thing called the Stamped Stallions, I bet you'd be a fan.
100%.
So 100%. A lot of people don't understand, but it's also the home team.
Right.
But Coach, we got Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley wants to prove it to the Giants. He wants to prove it to the world. Uber athlete. He hurdled someone backwards. I know you know about that. We got my Commanders, possibly the best rookie of all time, possibly, because if he wins this game, he'll be the first rookie to ever start at quarterback in the Super Bowl. So, but we got to get through it. Right. And then you have on the AFC, you've got a possible three-peat, and you know how hard that is coaching any sport. Yep. And then you've got Josh Allen, aka Superman.
Yep.
Coach, what's the best storyline that's coming out this weekend out of those 4 teams?
Obviously, I think it's either the Bills or the Commanders. I just think Josh Allen, the way he's led that team without Stephon Diggs, and you know everybody thought he was going to be counted out, and like you said, he put on a Superman role, and
yes,
he's big time, man. You know, obviously Josh Allen, he's actually from the Central Valley area. A lot of people know he went to Kingsburg. Then out of high school, he wasn't recruited. You know, he didn't have no stars, nothing. They ended up going to Reedley, and you know, then went to Wyoming, and you know, now he's in Buffalo. So, you know, obviously Buffalo did a heck of a job of drafting him. But I just think he's done a heck of a job for, you know, the limited options he has. Obviously James Cook has been a big part of that too. He's ran the ball well. Then their defense has been big time as well too, helping them out. Obviously the Commanders, man, you know, Jaden Daniels has been balling. You know, if he wasn't a rookie, he'd probably be in the MVP talks. Like you said, I haven't seen a lot of rookies who've been playing like him with super confidence, and you know, it's sad because a lot of people pass on him, and you know, I just seen something with the Giants. I think the owner was asking his son, you know, who she'd draft, and the guy's like, "Let's go, Jaden Daniels," and the guy was like, "He won't. Like, who's next? Because he won't be there." So, just a lot of people knowing Jaden Daniels gonna be big time. Obviously, you know, I didn't watch it closely last year, and obviously I knew he was good, but I didn't know, you know, executives and people like that thought that highly of him. So, now he's balling, man. You know, he got a big test against the Eagles, Jalen Carter in that defense. So it's going to be a good one, man. I'm excited for it. You know, I hope the Bills win because I can't see Pat Mahomes. I don't like Chiefs fans, the most annoying fans in the world. I'm hoping the Bills get that one, and honestly, I hope the Commanders win. So it'll be Commanders-Bills rematch. But if not, you know, Eagles Chiefs Part 2 will be good as well too, or 3, whatever it is.
Coach, I got two things out of that. So here's the first thing. Do you think a rookie could and should be able to win the MVP? Or are you of the ilk, man, come in and earn your stripes first? What's your take on that kind of thing when it comes to a dynamic player? Like, could a freshman get player of the year in basketball? I don't know if Melo did it. I might have to double check that. But what are your takes on that?
I think he should, man. He's playing better than a lot of these quarterbacks who, who've been playing a long time. I think statistically only Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Lamar, that I think was him. And he's still playing a lot longer than all those guys besides Pat and Josh. So I think so, man. If not, at least put him in the conversation of that realm because he deserves it. And he's a big-time talent. And, Commanders did a heck of a job of changing that organization around and getting their guys. So,
yeah, I looked it up. It looks like Carmelo was National Freshman of the Year. Maybe that's how they get it to you, Coach.
right,
He's National Freshman of the Year.
right.
Okay, and then the other part of that, Coach, that I want to ask you about is kind of along the lines of when you were talking about all the franchises and those players. Would you feel lesser about Josh Allen and his talent or his coaching if he loses again to Patrick Mahomes? So I'm going to say all those people in the Jordan years that didn't get a title because of Jordan.
Yeah.
So what would you say about Superman and his coach if they don't get this title?
I think they got to get this one. I think this is the lesser of a Chiefs team. I've seen some stat throughout the year because, I don't watch much football throughout the year. Is that I think the Chiefs had maybe one game over 30 points all season, and they still find a way to win. Obviously, their defense has been big time, but I think if anybody's gonna beat the Chiefs, this is the year. Obviously, Houston had a few chances a few weeks ago to do it, and I don't know who the Chiefs played last week, but I just think this is the year to beat the Chiefs. And Josh Allen, though, he's gonna be the guy who's second to Pat and the guy who's never won. So, pretty soon Jalen Hurts is gonna be going through that too. So,
okay, Coach. Buffalo, we've all seen it. When you go play in Buffalo, they got snow. People get into snowball fights. Coach, is it time to take weather out of the game? For everyone to get a dome, to make it not about who can cut better on snow and ice, but a good product of entertainment where we're all at the height. Cheetah. Now, I know he spent some years in Kansas City, but do you want to see Tyreek Hill play in Buffalo in the snow and ice and be negated? Or would you want to see him play the Buffalo Bills at the height of his powers?
I think it should be 50-50. If there's to a point where the snow is that bad and, guys can't do certain stuff, then obviously, the dome would be great. But I also think weather is a fun factor in it. The Chiefs-Ravens game I think it was big time. I didn't think the weather had that big of effect, but obviously if Mark Andrews catches the ball, the game is a lot different outcome. But I don't know, man. I can't really comment on the dome or not. Obviously, a lot of people would be in an uproar because that's going to change how football has traditionally been played. But obviously, if it's a good product for the league, why not do it? Obviously, the viewership has been, I think this is one of the best years in viewership. So if it's going to help their viewership, then do it. I think the one thing I do want to see change is that kickoff rule. I think that's one of the worst rules I've seen. Obviously, it's for the safety of the game.
Yeah.
But there's just no excitement in that, So, but weather is a big part of the game.
Yeah.
Obviously Lamar had his season cut short after a historic season. Obviously he fumbled the ball, the interception, the Mark Andrews fumble, plus the drop catch. So, the weather is a tough part of the game, and obviously, going to, I believe, Kansas City should be a good game because they're both used to that. So,
Coach, I was going to get to this, but we're here right now, so let's do it now. I want to hear two different. We're going to make you work hard this Sunday morning, Coach. I want to hear two different answers from you. I want to know, as a coach, what are you saying to Mark Andrews after what just happened? And then, Coach, you played the game. I want to know, Coach, as a teammate, and I don't care, Coach, you ain't got to be the good teammate. You be whatever teammate you were when you played. We all grow. You might have been a bad teammate, but you're an amazing coach and a better person now. So Give me the two, Coach. Give me as a coach and as a teammate, what y'all saying to Mark Andrews?
Man, as a coach, obviously Mark Andrews is a big part of what they've done all year. So you got to condone or console them and let them know without him we wouldn't be in this position. So obviously it's a bunch of unfortunate circumstances. I think that was his first fumble since 2019.
Yes, sir.
So that was a tough break, and he rarely dropped catches. I think I saw a stat he probably had 5 drops in like 3 or 4 years, something like that. So obviously the weather played a big part of that, and it's tough. He's backpedaling back into the end zone. I'm pretty sure if there was no snow there, it's for sure 2 points. But like you said, the snow played a big factor. But yeah, as a coach, you got to console them. They're all a team. I love what Lamar did as a player. Just went up to him and told him, it's a team game. It's not just him. They're all a team, and they go through it together as a team. And I love how Lamar said, after the game that he has to do a better job of holding on to the ball. The turnovers got to be stopped. So just taking over the leadership role and just telling them it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, nobody felt ill towards him that I saw because, like I said, without him, they wouldn't be there. He's been one of the best tight ends in the league for a little bit, top 4 or 5. So, man, it's just rare. Obviously, the circumstances weren't great, but just continue to be there for him and, just keep being a great teammate and, bring him back and hopefully run him back. But, the clock's ticking, man. Lamar, Derrick Henry, those guys had historic seasons. So, I thought this was the year, like I said, to beat the Chiefs because I think they're down. So,
yeah,
I was gunning for Lamar to win it. I'm a big Lamar fan. I love the way how he threw the ball this year and he got things done. So,
Coach, I'm at the point now where when I'm talking to the teams I coach, I say, you know what? It never comes down to just this one play.
Yep.
That game winner, it don't come down to that. First of all, we shouldn't have let it be this close. We could have, there's certain things I'm sure we could have done, a couple more rebounds we could have secured, a couple more turnovers we could have not have had. And we get those shots up. We might hit those shots. It's a different game. But, Coach, let's say we coming down on the break, clock's winding down. You the best 3-point shooter in the nation. I don't know what happened, but you're on my left, and you about to head over to shoot that corner 3. But I'm a pretty good guard, and I'm feeling good. And I think I got this too. I got a lot of real estate in front of me. Coach, I take that shot and I miss it. Maybe I should have passed it to you. Coach, what do you say when it comes to things like that, to your own players? And what's your philosophy on it? If it comes down to the game-winning shot, do I always, should I? Because I'm the point guard. So in this scenario, we generally trust the point guard's mental capacity. What do you say, Coach?
I just think in game situations, I think the ball has to be in your best player's hand. Obviously, if you're drawn out to play with a point guard, has to have the ball in his hands to give him the ball, then that's different. You have to go with the point guard sees and how the flow of the game is. obviously, if the best player is guarded super well, you're not gonna just throw him the ball. So, so just it's tough in basketball. And obviously, it's two different situations. Are you coming down off a miss where there's no timeout, where you can just give the best player the ball, or you're coming out of ATL and running the play? So, but I would like to give the ball in my best player's hands. He's been doing great things all year, obviously. That's why he's been our best player.
Yes.
Obviously, analytically, depending on what the score is, what you're down, hopefully you want to get to the rim. Free throw line. Obviously, if it's 1-2 point game, then the three is the next best shot.
So the reason I went back to that analogy, I mean, you've already proven that you're multifaceted, coach, but I wanted to see how you think on the basketball side, because I'm still in football. So I want to bring what you just said and how I interpret it back to Mark Andrews. Because in my opinion, on that fumble, he was trying to do too much, coach. So hear me out on this. So on the fumble, he caught it, he turned, and if I remember, and I haven't reviewed, but if I remember, he caught it, he turned, and he was going to try to give a little bit of move and get some yak, that run after the catch, those yards after the catch. He ain't a quick dude. So maybe he was feeling himself and he was trying to make a play, coach. That point guard, I'm trying to make a play, coach. And I know what you're saying. Like, if we called it, I got to do what we called.
Right.
But if we didn't, maybe we didn't have any timeouts and it's like bang, bang. So I think Mark was trying to do too much. And obviously, we respect what he was trying to do, but coach, is there such thing as trying to do too much in your opinion?
100%. You got to keep it simple. You got another time and a score. Obviously, a lot of people felt like Mark Andrews should have just went down.
Yes.
Knowing the sleep conditions and, they've been doing a good job of trying to punch the ball out all night. So, it's tough. Obviously, Mark was trying to do what he thought was the best for his team and get the extra yards or, try to make the home run play. But probably should have just kept it simple and just went down. So,
Coach, we're going to go back to some basketball, but we go into the NBA on this one.
Yep.
Let me give you the quote. Gosh damn, boy. He used to play on my AAU team, talking to me like I'm a little ass kid. That was Russell Westbrook talking to Jalen Green. Coach, how does that quote hit you?
Russ's experience. Obviously, Jalen's a Fresno guy, so I thought it was funny because he played for Russell Westbrook's AAU team. So obviously, Jalen was trying to stick up for his coach. Russ felt like he was trying to get in grown folks' business between him and his coach. It was funny. Obviously, you saw Jalen Green laugh it off. But that's just Russ for you, man. He gonna tell you how it is, and he gonna say what he feels. So,
Coach, what you think about him out there in Denver right now? Because Joker sounds like he in love. He love that. He love him some Russ. And it seems like a great fit. What are your thoughts now to him being out there?
I think a little bit they're trying to bring him off the bench, and it wasn't working. But ever since they inserted him to the starting lineup, they've been balling. They got great spacing. They play with good pace. Like you said, Joker loves it. Russ is actually genuine happy because he's actually playing basketball with, not getting held back and not people overlooking him and criticizing everything he's done. So, Russ has been able to play free and play basically how you played in OKC, rebounds, assists, getting to the rim. But no, he's been great. They've been good. I'm excited for the postseason here coming up.
So I want to get to that, Coach. As a coach, the front office makes that decision. I'm sure they reach down to the coaches, but hey, we think about bringing Russell Westbrook in. And you know how these last few stops have looked for him. Man, they're so deep. There's so much I want to get to this, Coach. So we're gonna have to riff on this for a minute. So let me go with the first thought because I got a lot of other thoughts. Here's the first thought, Coach. Sometimes it's the right situation or style of play, or it's the coaching.
Yep.
Which one is it?
I think it's the style of play. You know, obviously, just dating back to the Lakers, it just wasn't a fit. Obviously, you know, having him on the Lakers with Bron and him sitting in the corner, you know, that's just not Russ. So that style of play wasn't great, but obviously, you knew what it was when you joined the Lakers. Bron's gonna have the ball in his hand 80 to 90% in the game.
Yes.
Then the Clippers, I thought the Clippers version of Russ his last year was really good. Ty Lue did a good job of getting the ball.
Yeah.
Obviously, him and James have great respect for each other, and
Yeah.
I thought the Clippers version of Russ was really good. But you know, Wizards Russ, you know, anybody who goes to the Wizards, unfortunately they don't play their best basketball. Then
Wizards fan, Coach.
Then yeah, I'm sorry, man. Then you know, obviously the Lakers Russ wasn't good at all either. So I'm happy he's on Denver. You know, Russ is a heck of a talent. Plays hard, play the way the game should be. So
okay, so help me with that, Coach. How are you a talented player and a situation don't work for you? Here's the example. Supposedly, there were teams that didn't want to go get Derrick Henry because they didn't think his style would work because he's from that old school, give it to the running back. And now, you know, the running back is undervalued. He's almost an antique, him and Saquon, but it worked out this year. Coach, how does this happen where people go to a situation that don't look good, but we know they're talented? I don't get that. So can I blame you coaches? Because you coaches, this is where I offend him, people. Is this coaches being dinosaurs and not being able to adjust? Oh, well, this is the offense I run. I done ran this since I was a high school coach. And not being flexible enough to say, man, yo, we got to figure out something with this dude. Which one happens, Coach?
I think it's a combination. I think football is a little different. But for basketball, you know, and it's so analytically driven in the NBA. Russ was in a time where, you know, mid-range shots were good, so he shot those, and you didn't have to really shoot the three ball at a high clip that you do in today's basketball. So Russ has kind of caught some, you know, bad luck with the game changing. You know, almost like 40-some% of the shots come from three, and the rest come from the paint, attacking the rim. Then, you know, mid-range shots will go down. You only see elite guys taking those. KD, Booker, Shea, Luka. You see those type of guys taking those shots. So, you know, Russ, you know, his game just don't fit today's basketball, which is unfortunate. But Denver has done a great job of catering to that. You know, just goes to show you how good of a coach Malone is, just catering to his style of play. And also, you know, what Joker is super unselfish, that he doesn't need the ball at a time. And Mitchell, too, people don't talk about Mitchell. Mitchell's taken a lesser role off the ball to let Russ be the point guard. And like I said, it's helped them and they're winning. So,
Coach, look, we know you're a NorCal guy, but you said in our pre-production meeting, you said all things on the table.
Yep.
Coach, what's up with Mike Brown getting all these checks? Yo, he keep getting checks and then he leave and he still get paid. Coach.
Hey, Coach. I need what he got, man.
Yo. So to that same point, this is where I mean, you know, Sacramento, I hope you don't run into De'Aaron Fox. But come on, man. If the coach falls out of favor with the number one player, we gotta let the coach go. I mean, whatever De'Aaron Fox and him supposedly the drama is, come on, man. It ain't like a lot of people want to come to Sacramento.
Right.
But he was doing some things. What's your take on Mike Brown having to leave?
I thought it was weird. That obviously you see a lot of coaches, kill the Kings organization for that. He was just coach of the year, 2 years ago, year and a half ago?
Yes. Isn't that like his third time getting it in his career?
Yep. So it was just a super weird situation. Obviously, Mike Malone, the Nuggets coach, came out and killed the Kings owner just because he said he fired him the same fashion. So, obviously, it sounded like in the end it probably worked out for Mike because, the Kings organization just kind of in shambles and don't know the direction they're headed. So it's super unfortunate. I actually like Mike, his energy, what he did for the Kings, that quick turnaround. I think he's a good coach, and he's gonna land a job somewhere. So not worried about him.
Coach, I used that example earlier that I was your player, and I wanted to challenge you that if I hit that corner three before you, then you got to buy me lunch. I like wagers. I like teammates that have wagers. I don't know. It's camaraderie, team building, or just the fact that we get along. It's a good thing.
Yep.
Devin Booker and Kevin Durant they had an insane wager on last week's Commanders versus Lions game.
Yep.
If the Lions would have won, KD has to thank Draymond Green for his 2 rings. Yeah. yo, Book was wrong for that.
Right.
And with the Commanders winning, Booker has to publicly write a Father's Day card to Luka Doncic. Coach. Okay. Now that is hit,
right?
Is there ever a time where someone asks you to pay up or do something that's just going too far that you would never do?
Man. If I'm D-Book, I can't do that, man. After all
I can't do it. I can't do it, Coach.
After all the wars he's been through with Luka, the back and forth, all the memes you guys are on, and him sitting home from the playoffs multiple times. I think if the Lions would have won, I think thanking Draymond probably would have been a little easier. Even still, then I still couldn't do it just because of history and realistically, KD won him the ring. So, I just can't do that, man.
I know, Coach. There's limits to this,
bro. And I give you whatever you want, but I can't do that, man.
Nah, we can't. Nah, bro. Maybe that's the end of the friendship. Because you asking me to do all that, you may not be down for me. Right. I'm taking it. Okay, Coach. Gunnar Stockton. We're gonna go back to football, but I want to go to college football just for a quick second here. Gunnar Stockton, he was thrust onto the scene when Carson Beck got hurt.
Yep. And
it's a measure of coaching to have that next guy ready. So I'm going to come back to that part, but I want to give you the background. Maybe you don't know it. Yep. I'm going to play that you a West Coast dude. Maybe you don't know like the history. Yep. But Gunnar Stockton, when he was in Georgia growing up, he broke the records that Trevor Lawrence had. Watson.
Yep.
They both grew up. Yes, sir. They both grew up in Georgia. He broke their records.
Yep.
So that should, with that background, Coach, how do you make sure, especially in today's game, that your backup is always ready? How do you do that?
Man, it's just the constant reps. Obviously giving them some first team reps as well too. Typically, in football, your QB1 don't always, practice. So I think just giving them the same amount of, not same amount of reps, but the same first team reps. Obviously he's in there, film work, study work, all that. And, in basketball, it's a little different because you can have, stay ready games and, you can have your backup point guard go play one-on-ones with your managers and, this and that. So he can stay ready, even though his minutes are very limited. So just doing things differently. That's giving them game time situation. Obviously, Georgia. I think you said Georgia football team, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the Georgia football team. That's their second, third string defense is better than a lot of teams' first string defense. So he's basically getting real training every day. So and that's just a testament to a lot of those SEC schools. Those second and third string defenses are really good. They probably can go start anywhere. So, that's why you see a lot of these quarterbacks just come in and play right away, just because they've seen everything, and the defense they go against in practice is a lot better than what they're going to see on a Saturday. So,
yeah, you're right. In today's climate, Coach, how you gonna convince someone to come and be the backup point guard? We all 5 stars, 4 stars coming out of high school. I know that's got to be hard, but what would your pitch be? Because I'm always curious, how does somebody do that? So my example, and I know I went a little basketball there when I phrased that, but the example, finally, Arch Manning's going to get a shot here in Texas.
Yep.
Gunnar Stockton won't know Willie Lump. I mean, you break Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson's records, you probably could have started somewhere. You could have gone out to Wyoming and started like Josh Allen, and he still made the league. So maybe you go take that. Yep. How do you get people to come and know that their time is going to happen eventually? I can't tell you when. How you do that, Coach?
Obviously, football and basketball is a lot different. I think football is more so just to protect them. I think it's very rare to see a freshman quarterback to go out there and just produce. I think it's been, very limited amount of few. So, but obviously, the draft status too. I think those guys can't go right away. So, just helping them grow and mature and, see all the nuances of the game and, learn from their veteran quarterbacks, the coaching staff, all that stuff. But for basketball, I think it's a little different. Obviously, if you have a veteran returning point guard and you're trying to go get a, 5-star kid or a 4-star kid, and the pitch just has to be, hey, man, obviously as a 5-star, you're probably thinking about going to the league, in year one. But just, just come behind this guy. Obviously you're still going to get your minutes. You probably won't play 30 plus, but, there's still 15 to 20 minutes on the table. Building that trust and, that relationship with them where they don't have to worry about, you going bad on your word and, they're not thinking about transferring. So I think the relationship piece and them seeing your words stay true and, just giving them those minutes, and you never know, the 5-star kid may come in and be better than your returning guard. So, like I said, starting position should never be promised. So, may the best man win at the end. But obviously, if you've been there 3 years as a starter, your chances are likely you're going to be the 4th-year guy. So, but yeah, it's just tough, man. Obviously, especially in college basketball, guys can just go up and transfer. Hey, I'm going to go here and be the starting guy. So, it's tough.
Coach, we're going to go back to NBA, but we talking NBA about something that's kind of quirky. Coach, according to NBA threads, what's crazier, that 3% of players in the NBA are named Jalen, or that so many of them are cold on the court?
Okay. I think that is crazy. 3% is a high. I think almost every team has one. I think OKC has 2 players with the name Jalen. So it's crazy, but obviously a lot of those guys are good, so it helps the league. And obviously I've seen a bunch of those memes with, all the Jalen's and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool, man. Very interesting to see that transpire right now. So,
Coach, you're up there, that NorCal vibe. So I want to get this one. Coach, you can't pay Purdy, right? You can't pay him starting best quarterback in the league, Dak Prescott money. You can't pay him, right, Coach? You can't pay him that.
Why Dak Prescott getting it?
But Coach,
What has Dak done? I think Brock has more playoff wins than Dak, right?
Why you gonna do that, Coach? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. No, it's a fact, and you're right. But Coach, you want to keep that team together with all that talent. So I'm gonna ask you this question: if you're Brock Purdy, do you leave a little money on the table so you could keep this team together? Or
yeah, I think Brock Purdy will. I think Brock Purdy will. Yeah, I think this is the type of person he is, and all the stuff I heard about. I think he will. I don't think that'd be an issue.
Because, Coach, don't you think that it's more valuable to your career to have this 5 or 6 year run as a winning and great quarterback versus take the money, miss the playoffs, and then for those 2 or 3 or 4 years, people are saying, "Man, you weren't really worth the money." I think those are two very different careers. And if you're win, you could get those endorsements like Mr. State Farm and Head and Shoulders dandruff shampoo and Subway subs like Patrick Mahomes. So I think you recoup that money, but just curious on how you feel about that.
Yeah, I just think it's just obviously
because I think it works.
Yeah, I think each player is different. But I know in Brock's case, I've heard he's a selfless guy, so I think he's going to take the pay cut and do it. Obviously, a lot of teams have found avenues around it. I think the Chiefs have found a way to, all Patrick Mahomes' money, still find a way to sign all these guys and pay them. So there's become different avenues. Thankfully, a lot of people are like the Dodgers, and their tax dollars is out this world. And I think I just saw they signed another guy for a crazy amount of money. So
yes, they did.
It's crazy, man. The amount of the money in sports right now is crazy, but it's a good thing.
Coach, we're gonna stay NFL because am I right in that Sam Darnold grew up in NorCal? Is he a NorCal kid?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then I'm good on that. So what does Minnesota do, Coach? Do they pay Darnold and maybe trade McCarthy? Everyone says that this is a weak draft. So he's got 1 year of working on his body and film study. Do you trade him and keep Sam Darnold? Or Kevin O'Connell's the coach says, "Nah, I'm a quarterback whisperer. I'm going to go with my rookie on that rookie quarterback deal and then work everything else." What happens, Coach? What should they do?
Sam Darnold's another one. I think he may end up taking a pay cut, but obviously the year he's had, he was balling. So I think he kind of has the leverage right now. If you're Kevin, I don't see why you go with McCarthy. I've seen what Sam done. Sam's led the charge. Now you basically gonna have a rookie quarterback come in and play, and I don't think JJ. I think you want to keep JJ happy, and I think the best way to do it is to keep Sam and just trade your rookie. Because at the end you got to pay him, so you might as well just pay Sam and keep winning and keep what you're doing right now. The first, going with the rookie and a bunch of uncertainty. Just use that to trade him and go get some other weapons around Justin Jefferson. Your running back wants to stay, so you got a lot of core of the pieces that want to return. So I'd keep Sam. Obviously, it was 1 year, so if Sam can show he can do it another year, his value even goes up more. So when he's still young, a lot of these guys just got to remember. A lot of these guys, quarterbacks, are getting thrust in positions where their rookies are only done it 1 year, and all these organizations just throw them to the wolves. So people got to realize Sam's still young, and the Jets organization was not great. So
yeah, Coach. I want to ask you this one last question before we're going to make a shift. Should it be held against you, Coach, the last time that we see you? So in the instance of Sam Darnold, he's in the playoffs. You know, they don't win that game. I don't want to put it all on him. You know, you know what we say. If the line ain't letting someone come up the middle, then yeah, I don't rush a throw. Or if that defensive end don't get around that corner and knock the ball from me, I might have got Justin Jefferson. Do we hold that against people? You could say NBA playoffs. You could even say some college teams. Do we hold it against star players when it comes to their draft? So, you know, me, the dynamic point guard, third year that plays under you, Coach, I've been killing it all year. I'm a double guy, 20 points, 10, 11 assists, but I don't have a good March Madness. And I'm playing some of the best, you know, let's say we make it to the Elite Eight, but my game in the Elite Eight is horrible. Right. So with all of these contexts that I give, you can answer on any one. Coach, should we hold that against someone, even though all that body of work, the 30-odd games in college basketball before that, the 14-3 record that Sam Darnold had before the playoff loss? What's your take on that, Coach?
I don't think you should judge a person by that. Each year is different. Each team is different. Each coach is different. The schemes are different. Obviously, you know, this year was rough in the playoffs. You know, he had a few miscues, but at the end, he got him there. Without him, they wouldn't be there. So it just goes hand in hand. Obviously, you know, it's tough because his number one option is Justin Jefferson, and he's getting doubled all the time in the playoffs. You know, so obviously he's just trying to give him the ball, but you know, in the end, you gotta make the right plays, or it's gonna come back to haunt you like it did. So, yeah, I don't think the Vikings have no way of judging that. Obviously, analysts and people like that, you know, killed him for a day, but you know, in the end, they got him there. If they didn't have him, they probably wouldn't even be in the playoff talk or race at all. So,
yeah, Coach, when you were gonna come on, were there certain things that you wanted to talk about that maybe we didn't get to yet?
No, man, it's good. I'm talking about everything, so it's been fun.
Okay, because I got some more locked and loaded. Cam Ward, quarterback. Yep. He was at University of Miami. We know he's coming out. He broke the D1 record for touchdown passes in a career with 156. Then said, Coach, he threw up the deuces.
Right.
And said, yo, I'm out.
Right.
I did what I need to do, but I ain't gonna play the second half of this bowl game. Coach, you all right with that? You all right with that?
Man, I think you should just finish, man. You already played the first half. I don't see you playing the second half. I don't see what would be much different. So, Shedeur did it. Travis Hunter did it. You know, he could have just did that for the program and won, and you know, got him some money for winning the game. So I think he could have finished it and did it and just finished the job. You know, obviously, it was him and his agent's decision to pull out of the second half. So, but as a coach, I think, you know, you'd want to finish and play the game. And you know, it's unfortunate a lot of these stars, if they don't make it to the college football playoffs, they opt out. But I thought it was dope that Shedeur and Travis, you know, finished out the season and played. And obviously they didn't win, but still giving their fans that, you know, 2 hours of seeing them play again was good. So,
yeah. Coach, is the running back after what Derrick Henry and Saquon did?
It's tough. There's just not a lot of great running backs. You know, obviously, Derrick Henry, Saquon. I think Alvin Kamara is up there. Who else? This is the thing. Like, every time I think there's
Joe Mixon had a good year down there in Houston.
He did.
And I think you said Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones looked good, left Green Bay.
Yep.
Had a good year.
I mean, you know, it's just so top heavy with those guys. But I think so, especially with their age, especially Derrick Henry, what he did. A lot of people thought he was going to be able to run in that system, and
and his age,
right, exceeded expectations. And Saquon Barkley, stayed healthy all year and did his thing. So I'm hoping they did it because they gotta be valued. I don't think the Eagles are that highly touted. Without Barkley, obviously they still would have got there, but don't think it would have been the same.
Coach, Delaware State finalizing the deal to hire Deshaun Jackson as head coach. Coach, what you feel about that? Well, he's older than you, but he a young cat.
Yeah.
And
I think for HBCUs, it brings a lot of attention and great things for them. Obviously, as a coach, I can see why some people are mad because they've been putting in time and they've been grinding for years and years to get to where they are or where he wants to be. So, but as a fan, as a player, as an administrator, it's going to be great. Deshaun Jackson's going to bring them so much different resources, so much, different everything. And it's going to be great for Delaware State.
Yeah. Coach, this was a lot of fun. We took you all over. You didn't miss a beat, Coach. We talked college. We talked NFL. Right. We talked a little basketball. Coach, we're gonna have to bring you back because we got March Madness coming up. We didn't really get to talk a lot of college basketball like I would have liked to. I'm about to go to University of Texas versus South Carolina. South Carolina's coming here. I bought my tickets, Coach. It was, it's almost $70 a ticket, and I bought it a while back.
Right.
So I'm gonna take the wife.
That's a good game, man. Texas do a good job. A lot of dribble drive stuff, and obviously South Carolina has done a heck of a job, and that team's super talented. So that should be a fun game, fun environment.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. But Coach, we appreciate you coming on. That hour blew by, but that's fine because I got topics, so we can do this again. But we appreciate your time and your energy. This is always fun. You always bring it, Coach.
I appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on, and do it anytime. Just reach out. I'd love to do it.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.
I appreciate you.